Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2024 Frontiere Motorsport Awards. We have
Whee!
going to count off some of the best moments, and our personal favourites of many different things that have happened through this year in motorsport. So, without further ado, we'll get cracking on with the best crash.
Also, Mike and Adam are here.
Yeah, I was going to say,
here, by the way.
we're also here.
It's a given at this point. There's usually three of us. With the
Okay.
So
I see we've jumped straight into the main one, which is the best crash.
yeah.
So
yeah, what are we reckoning?
I'm gonna let you go first on this one, Broom.
Right. Well, this is a crash that during my time on the BTCC paddock this year I witnessed, albeit after the fact, was the F4 British F4 crash at Brands Hatch this year. Jack Sherwood, yes. Very strange incident suddenly appeared on the screens. I believe he went wide at oh god, is it Druids?
No. It was somewhere.
No. No, it wasn't. It was the top of Paddock Hill.
Just for the record as well, viewers. For every time there is a clip involved, I am going to try my best to find a clip and insert it, just so you know what we're on about.
If Mike does manage to find a clip for this, it is very blurry. I do apologise, but I believe it was out the back of Paddock Hill. But there we are. He suddenly kind of went straight across the gravel, and his car dug into the floor, and it sent him spiralling over. And the way that the car was shown on television, I've never seen a car bend like that. It's a miracle he managed to walk away from it, but luckily he did walk away.
Sherwood Forest, mate.
Yeah.
Hey?
He went into the forest, didn't he? Sherwood went into the forest.
Oh, very funny.
Yeah. Go on, Bryce, take it away.
He was fine, by the way. I want to clarify, he was fine.
He was fine, yes. He did walk away.
So, no, that's a fair one. Mike, do you want to... What's your pick? Or do you want me to go next?
You go.
Okay.
I think mine's very good.
So, I'm surprised Broom didn't pick this one, to be fair. Because with him being the wet maestro.
Go on.
I picked Earl Bramber's crash from the Spa race, the 6 hour, when the car went, as they were going on to Kemmel Straight, there was a little tag between him and GT.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, for a little bit, then came back down.
That was a big hit.
Yeah, that was massive. But again, all drivers were fine in the end, but that's probably the one I was thinking of. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, go on, Mike.
So, the reason I wanted to go last one for this one, because I've gone for something a little bit out of the ordinary.
Go on.
If you remember back to NASCAR Phoenix, we had quite a memorable crash. That was when the safety car nearly missed the pit lane and crashed into the pit lane.
Yes, that's a good point. That did, yeah.
I think Mike wins this round.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, goodness me. I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
I remember it. I mentioned it in a different one, which we'll get to in a bit. But I forgot. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. So again, I will find a clip for this one. But basically the safety car procedure involves the car approaching up to the pit lane and then pulls off. I do say towards the last minute, but this was very, very last minute, and he rotated and just hit the wall. It's
supposed to be about the last minute, but
in NASCAR, there's a set amount of laps they do for a caution period. Unless there's like debris sprawling across the circuit all over the place, which there wasn't at this point.
Yeah, no, this wasn't this a mandatory stop period?
It was a mandatory stop.
So anyway, so crazy. Out of the three, then who gets the best crash award?
I think.
Which one?
I think Mike gets this one to be.
I think because of the pure silliness of it, Mike. Yeah, I agree. I think you might have to walk away with that one.
Right then. So the best.
None of us could quite believe it.
Yeah, the best crash then of 2024 goes to the safety car driver in NASCAR Phoenix. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very well. Well, not well done, but
well, yes, well done.
Well,
I'm hitting a car on a tire barrier.
The crashing.
Yeah, it was a moment. Anyway, next award. Now this one is a little bit different. So this is the most wholesome moment award. So it can be an event, it can be a person, it can be a team, anything that you deem as like being wholesome, something that makes you like what's happening in motorsport again. Because obviously it's been up and down with a few things, but. Anyway, I'll start off with this one. I've gone for something. It might sound a bit generic, but I've gone for this year's teammates between Piastri and Norris. I just think seeing them work together as a team, both committing, both doing the jobs, not getting into scraps, just working well as a team. I just think they've both. Yeah, it's been wholesome to watch.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That sounds pretty good. I personally, though, I went a little bit biased. I went for Lewis Hamilton's win at Silverstone this year. I think that was very wholesome when Bono was coming over the radio and telling him, and I think Bono was nearly in tears, but Lewis certainly was. And Lewis was over the moon with that win, and I think we all were, especially considering it was his one with Mercedes as well. So yeah, it was a very lovely little bit of magic. Motorsport magic is always to watch, and yeah, it was very brought a lot of smiles.
Yeah, no, I think that was a good event this year. Bryce?
I'm going to be honest, ADHD hit. What was yours, Mike?
Mine was the teammate between Lando Norris and Piastri. I just think as together they've just worked so well and they've got on. They've done the job. It's just been nice to watch them as a team.
Yeah, they do seem to have developed. So mine was a bit different, and I know you guys don't really watch this, so I will have to explain this. So this is a MotoGP.
Ooh,
2 wheels.
So yeah, 2 wheels. They can fall off those. But so basically, the moment I'm going to talk about is actually when Jorge Martin won the title this year, because at the last round in Barcelona, he won the title, and it was he celebrated like most people do when they win the first time. He's also done it on an independent bike, which no one's done since Valentino Rossi years and years and years ago. But the wholesome moment starts when he gets back to the podium celebrations, and his best mate, who is retiring, Aleix Espargaro, comes over and starts celebrating with him. They're not even on the same team. They're just really good mates. And comes over and he starts celebrating with him, and the whole team's going mad. And then the reigning champion, Bagnaia, was interviewed while this is all happening, and he said, "Do you have any regrets this?" Then the commentator said, "Do you have any regrets this year?" And Pecco literally just said, "My biggest regret is I couldn't give him the number one myself. He deserves it." And that was one of the most wholesome moments I've ever seen in motorsport.
Goodness me, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So that's my pick. Wholesome moment.
Well, I don't know about you, Broom, but I think that takes it for me.
Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, MotoGPs are could be a serious war of attrition at some stages, can't it? So I think, especially someone being so deserved, I suppose we're used to a bit more toxicity when it comes to championship contention. But I think, that's lovely. That takes cake.
So the most wholesome moment goes to the finale at the MotoGP.
Yeah,
nice one.
I don't know if you can hear my clapping.
Vaguely.
Go then, vaguely. Go on then, Brycey.
Insert clapping noise.
Yeah, clap. So now, on to the award for the most
I forgot we had that.
Oh yeah, hang on. All right, there we go. I'll keep that open.
There we go.
Right, that's good. So, next award is for the most underrated driver of the year.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to start, and I'm going to start again with MotoGP.
And
I'm going to say Fabio Quartararo. He won the championship a few years back on a Yamaha, and the Yamaha's not the best bikers of late. In fact, it's been awful. But he is consistently up there. He's always the highest finishing Yamaha, and especially near the end of the season, he was constantly in the top 10 with a bike which really had no place of being there. So for me, Fabio is the most underrated rider of the year.
Fair play.
Fair enough.
I've
Room?
I've gone for
Oh,
a
Mike.
I've gone from a different approach again. So you know how I feel about rallying and things like that, and Bryce especially knows how much I'm a fan of Thierry Neuville. I've said
You really like Newville.
yeah, I've said he's always been a top class driver. He's just never had that chance to just finally get that championship, and this year he's done it. So this year, the most underrated driver for me award goes to Thierry Neuville. Well done.
Now, again, been a little biased here,
Okay.
but statistically speaking, the most underrated driver for me, I feel like, has been Aaron Taylor Smith this year. Max Racing, British touring car driver. Now, yes, I worked for him this year. However, when you win the independent drivers title and you've won, I want to say, how many was it? Or you've been on that podium every single time for it almost. It's hard to believe. It's crazy.
Yeah,
And,
I get that.
I was going to say Josh Cook, and then I changed it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I can't remember the exact stats off the top of my head, Mike. I'm sure I'll be able to put them back in again. But, yeah, just the fact that, like, Aaron walked away with, I think had 15 independent podiums, or he had 15 independent wins. And he was on the podium for the rest of them. And then with the overall podiums and the performance, he's put in this year, I think it's stellar, absolutely, compared to last year where he was kind of outshone, or things didn't go the team's way. So yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think he's absolutely done brilliantly this year.
I mean, I think as much as I love Thierry Neuville, I think when it comes down to expectations and what they've achieved, I do think that sounds a bigger step than obviously Neuville, because as I said in mine, I think Neuville's always been a title contender. He's just always missed out by the skin of his teeth, sort of thing. So
yeah.
So I'm happy to go with Broom on this one, unless you're fixed with yours.
No, I'm happy to go with that as well. I admit, like, I'm begrudging about it because he was one of my
yeah.
But
I'll not get Bryce to announce the result then. Broom.
Taylor Smith, ladies and gentlemen, to win the most underrated driver of the year award. There we are. Okay, moving on. Who am I doing?
I don't know.
I'm doing most overrated driver, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay, so most overrated driver award of the year. I feel like this is someone who kind of made a what's the word? Made a ripple in their respective championship, and people were expecting a lot from them. And so I've gone with Andrew Watson.
You twat. You're an absolute twat.
I'll be completely honest. I saw a fair amount about Andrew Watson, ex Max Racing driver in British touring car last year. He was on the limit, loads. Obviously, he did win the independent. Jack Sears Trophy. But this year, and I think people were expecting a lot from him when he made his move to Toyota Gazoo Racing, a proper manufacturer outfit, and he, well, put it politely, I think he drowned. His results weren't brilliant, and yeah, no, that's just. I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's got a lot going on and things like that. But I think, yeah, just his performance. I also know that he used to be a ex Aston Martin Racing factory driver. But and Aston Martin has my heart. But I just think that this year he's drowned. His performance has been suboptimal. So personally, that's my standing. So go on then, Mike. What do you reckon?
So I've gone a little bit different with this one.
Oh.
Again, I've gone with a WEC driver. Now, this name always gets thrown about for how well he's done over previous years and is the results he's got. I've gone for Sheldon van der Linde. So
Ooh.
the reason being is he's had 8 races, 0 wins, 0 podiums, 0 fastest laps in the BMW WRT hypercar. Okay. In the total driver standings, which I believe off the top of my head for the hypercar, there's only about 35 drivers in total. He's finished 27th. He's finished 20th. In terms of how each driver has performed. He's finished 27th in the WEC hypercar group.
Oh, fair enough.
That's not great.
I suppose out of not overrated even. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, whenever you say the name, you think, "Oh God, he's a brilliant driver and all this." And
isn't it his brother Kevin van der Linde?
Well, he's in GT3s.
Yeah.
But
so I maybe then I can agree with that.
It's one of them. I think you rate him very highly, but I just don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. In previous years, he's churned out some fantastic results, but this year, especially in that BMW car, he hasn't done anything.
No,
I could see that. Go on then, Bryce. What are you reckoning?
Right. Before I say this, put your pitchforks down. This is just my personal opinion.
Here we go.
Lando Norris.
Oh.
I think he's had the car underneath him, and he has the potential to do really well, as we have seen countless times over the last few years. But every time he's needed to put the foot, because of that, I just think this year, not in general. Like last year was fantastic. Year before he was fantastic. This year in general, yeah, he got 2 race wins. Maybe again, I've not really watched the full thing. The car is there, and every time.
Sorry, Bryce. Bryce, just hold a second. I think you're just having a few internet problems then. Broom, did you pick that up then?
No, I thought it was a me problem. But I get what you mean. I get what you say. I get what you're saying, mate. I do kind of agree with you there. How, Lando's been in a real good position for the championship win this year, and he was so close. But some of these kind of junior mistakes, I suppose you could say, with the collision with Max at Austria, and then the battles with Max at Cota and Mexico. And...
I thought he's been a decent driver this year, Lando.
He has been a decent driver. He has, but at the same time,
you need to be better than decent in Formula One.
Well, no. Lando... I mean decent in terms of where he's finished with the car he's got. I think he's done all right result wise.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He's been done over by the team a few times, like Hungary when they asked him to let him through, to let the Piastri through, which I don't understand still to this day. But I just don't think, like, for example, he gained so much points on Max, and then they got to Brazil and he dropped it.
Yeah.
So I just don't think he's performed as well as we know he can.
Well,
yeah.
In terms of discussions, I wouldn't be happy calling Norris the most overrated driver of 2024. So between me and Broom, what do you think? I'll let Brycey.
I'm not. Yeah, I think, but let Brycey cast the final blow here.
Oh wait, okay. Again, I see to
side with.
The problem is, one of them is about a driver I've worked with this year.
I forgot. Yeah. And I don't know. I just think in terms of stats, it's got to be Sheldon van der Linde.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Stats wise.
You want to say Sheldon? Because I was very leaning on the edge to Watson.
Oh.
Right, Bryce, you take the call. Did you think he had more to offer?
Watson is the only driver in our team who didn't win a race.
Oh,
he didn't even get a podium.
I don't know about you, Mike. I think that settles it.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. So, Adam, would you like to, or Broom, would you like to announce?
Of the winner of the most overrated driver award of 2024 goes to Andrew Watson.
Oh dear.
There we are.
I mean, is that a clap, or is that more of a like a?
Hang on, is that a?
Yeah. There we go.
I hate that.
Bit better suited.
I've complimented one of his drivers and insulted one of my own. This is not going well.
Traitor.
Traitor.
Anyway, moving on to the next one. So this is the most underrated team of 2024. So I'm going to start this one with saying McLaren F1. I think this year they've we went at the start of the season. I didn't think we expected them.
Hang on. You said you couldn't call Lando Norris the most overrated driver, yet you're saying the most. Wait, wait, is it underrated?
Underrated team.
Oh, sorry, underrated. Jesus, sorry about that. I think I had an internet issue just then.
Yeah. So the reason being is I just think with McLaren, I think at the start of the season we didn't expect too much from them, and then to become obviously now championship winners, I just think it's fantastic.
So do I. I think McLaren, obviously not winning for 26 years.
Yeah.
You know, that's a long slump.
Yeah.
In Formula One, like that's a long time.
Well, it's not just that, but when you look to how they've been doing over the last 5 years, I just think to where they are now is such a big leap. But yeah, so that's who's taking mine. Who took yours, Broom?
I said Hertz Team Jota.
Of course you did.
Of course you did. Well, it's better than me because my first thought was PMR, but yeah, I decided to change it last minute to Hertz Team Jota. Just simply because of the fact that with the kind of the full Porsche machinery underneath them now, obviously with 2 cars and the likes of Jensen Button and some really decent drivers. Norman Nato, to name another, and no, not Philip Habsburg. What's his face? Mike could probably tell you in the edit viewers. But I think they've just been great. They've done a really good job, and they should be really proud of machinery, especially when they first got it. And then we saw them mature through the year, and then this year they've come in with a really good, solid base underneath them and knocked everybody's socks off.
Yeah.
I think, am I right in saying that they were the best customer team outside of?
They got first and second.
I was going to say they were the best customer team in the World Endurance Championship hypercar category this year, and next year they're becoming a factory effort for Cadillac.
Yeah,
so they've really, you know,
it's a bit of an unusual move for me.
I think it's just because the Porsche machinery is being used by so many people, and Cadillac were pulling out, and Jota want to be there, and you know, clearly a deal was struck, and we're here.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Bryce.
That was my pick.
So I've taken a different approach to this one. It's not for me. It's not based on the results. It's based on the effort.
Okay.
And I have picked Williams F1 team.
Okay. No, I get that.
Good choice.
The amount of time having been a mechanic myself in a team, and Broom will understand this as well.
Mm-hmm.
When stuff hits the fan, and Mike will, to be fair, when stuff hits the fan, and you've got to be up till about 3-4 o'clock in the morning building a car for the next day, it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, the mechanics, I cannot commend them enough for what they've done this year, having to rebuild the car over and over again. And this is the team. The team has been fantastic, and they've worked with what they've got. They've got to the end of the year, and they've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, they've pulled a few decent results as well, haven't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Some decent. I think a couple of points finishes in a couple of
They've
places.
not done awful. They've done all right. They've just had a bit of bad luck and a few accidents.
Yeah.
They've spent more money than any team this year in terms of damages, but they've bounced back every time.
Yeah.
And I think what, also building on that, what James Vowles came out and said rather recently, where he was like, I'm not looking at 23 or 24 or 25, I'm looking at 26. So let's just break everything. Let's push everything to the limit and find out what we can do to make things better. So I think, it's really interesting, and they're a great team and they've got the work behind them.
Nice one. So next, I think, is it Bryce?
Yes, go on, Bryce.
Is that our reward? Did we say that was the winner?
Oh, we're not. I was going to say we're not selected a winner. I'm trying to.
So hang on a moment.
I'm trying to ramble on. It's a tough one because I think McLaren and Williams have obviously both put the effort in. I think in terms of results to where they were last year and where they are this year, I think probably McLaren's probably a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. Saudi Arabia last year, McLaren had 0 points.
Yeah.
This year, they've won.
And as well, am I right in saying that they've also had 0 DNFs?
Yes, you are, which is also an amazing stat in itself.
Yeah, for a team, that is unreal. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, did they also have the fastest pit stop this year?
I think they did hold that.
I'll have to fact check that.
In fact, you've convinced me and McLaren on that one.
Right then.
Yeah,
so the most underrated team this year is McLaren Formula One team.
There you are. There we go.
Love the double clap. Ricey, over to you.
Right, moving on to the overrated team of the year. Now, I don't like to beat a team while they're down, but
do it.
I'm going to. I think the most underrated team this year is the factory KTMs in MotoGP, because if you read the news nowadays, KTM are, I think it's $3 billion in debt at the moment.
Wow.
That's nothing to do with this, though. I don't know how they've got.
Yeah, they're just going to administration.
Yeah, so they're not in the best of places, but the bike this year is atrocious. It has been carried constantly by the riders. So you have bad Brad Binder driving the factory one, and it's being outperformed, and the whole bike is being outperformed by its customer team.
Oh dear.
So on
that's
that
never good.
Front, it doesn't look great for the factory team. What have you said, Mike?
So I've gone again on the WEC side of things. So if we go back to our WEC prediction video when we start talking about what's going to be happening over the WEC season, there was a lot of hype behind Lamborghini and the Iron Lynx team.
Yes.
Now nothing came of that.
Yeah. It didn't really, did it?
No. So
I think one of us actually said Lamborghini was going to be in the top 3 for Le Mans.
It might have been me.
Yeah, I think.
So my most overrated team this year is the Iron Lynx Lamborghini hypercar, which pains me to say really, because Iron Lynx and the Iron Dames have done brilliantly in the GT3s. They've done absolutely phenomenal. But in terms of the hypercar, it's just not been the year for them.
Well, yeah, because obviously Lamborghini have pulled their hypercar entry now for WEC.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're not doing it. And then Iron Lynx are going to get 2 Lamborghinis back, and then Iron Dames are going to Mercedes. They're getting a Mercedes GT3.
Yeah. So it's not been a good year for the Lamborghini hypercar.
Lamborghinis are decent cars, but they are seriously they're not ideal sometimes.
But for me, I think it sums it up. Like, we rated very, very highly of them prior to the first race.
I agree.
And then just nothing came of it. It was just it was awful.
I could agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Broom.
Again, I don't want to really beat a team while they're down, but I just said the Red Bull F1 team. They've came into the season, and we were like, and Max started winning races. We're like, oh yeah, here we go. You know, Red Bull win again, and fair enough, they got the expertise to do so. But again, they just drowned. They, as soon as McLaren, started getting their heads out of the sand and get some good upgrades on the car, and Ferrari kept them on their toes. You're talking like Red Bull dropped. They were the only thing keeping them going was Max Verstappen, and I mean the season ended as McLaren, Ferrari, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Red Bull and then Mercedes. Was it Mercedes then Red Bull?
I can't remember, but the only argument I'd have with your choice is it's not necessarily a team that's let them down. It's one driver. Perez has threw them into the mud.
But I think at the same time you just have to. We all know the craziness that can be the Red Bull driver lineup sometimes, and the fact that they've not got rid of Perez sooner, or at all.
I was going to say, you say this last year. He for a second driver, he did okay.
He did do very well, but this year he's drowned as well. Sorry, I just yawned. But he's also drowned. And so I just feel like it's let the whole team down. And Max Verstappen, fair enough, is blessed with a brilliant amount of talent, but at the same time, at the end of the day, they ended up being third in the constructors' title. It wasn't even like they were second.
Yeah, no, I have to give you that.
They were a long way back.
Yeah. As much as I feel sorry for the KTM boys, I do feel that I'm with Broom on this one. I think Red Bull. Go on, sorry, Bryce.
I'd go for the Lamborghini.
All right. Well.
Well. Okay. Well, it looks like are we in a tie there then?
I was going to say, let's go for a tie. So for Formula One, we'll go for Red Bull as the most overrated team, and in WEC we'll go for Iron Link's Lamborghini hypercar.
Red Bull Formula One, and both.
You both win. Well done.
Oh no, that's more of a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we are. So now moving on to our strangest award. The Wooden Spoon Award, ladies and gentlemen, which we have deemed as the most memeable. So, what do we reckon, boys?
Can I start this one, because I'm trying to hold back the urge of not crying. Do you remember back to the Brazilian Grand Prix? This is in Formula One. When
I'm trying to remember now.
When Lance Stroll on the opening laps decided to not just spin it, but then after spinning it, he drove into the gravel trap and got it beached.
Yes, I do. I do know that. I do remember that very well.
What? I mean, spinning that.
Your sound of exhaustion, just
yeah. To spin that early on, obviously, is one thing. You don't want to be that guy, but then to recover yourself, get the car going, and then turn onto the gravel. Bear in mind, he was facing away from the gravel. He turned towards the gravel, driven onto the gravel, and then stopped, and then DNF.
It was the formation lap as well.
Yeah, it was literally the opening laps.
Oh dear.
I don't think we need to say any of the others. I think that's just the winner.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hit yours first, anyway.
Go on, bro. Oh. Well, I suppose I can go. I was going to say when I believe it was a BMW. I believe it was a BMW. It might not have been. It might have been something else. When in the BTCC paddock, Sam Ritchie's stood like a sentinel in front of this car, and God forbid you tried to get round him, but it was just funny because we suddenly saw on the TV.
BMW, that was a Toyota, you pillock.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, I couldn't remember.
It was me.
What was it? Cook.
It was Huff.
I was Huffy.
First round of quali.
Yeah, Sam Ritchie's. I'm sure you'll be able to find a picture of Mike. Sam Ritchie's was stood there in front of Huff, stopping him from moving anywhere.
Right.
I can't remember. I can't remember what the exact.
Can I just say this is odds on Bricey here talking about some height adjustment rollers going underneath a certain Astra.
No.
Hey, look, we took that on the chin.
I'll give you the background story.
Oh,
So basically, qualifying start. The qualifying format for the touring car this year changed.
Yes.
So the rules were there was two groups
Yes.
of qualifying to start.
Yes.
Basically, what happened was we read the rules, and the way we interpreted it meant we had to be ready for our group. Puff was Group 2. So we were like, right, we just need to be ready for Group 2. So Group 1 went out with a car in the fast lane of pit lane. I was like, no, back up.
Yeah, he would. So I think what Bryce was trying to say, Mike, was that the touring car format for qualifying was that, and in the regulations, the boys at Toyota misread it as being that you only have to be ready for the group that you're competing in, but you have to be ready for the session starting as a whole, and thus Rob Huff not being ready because didn't he have a crash in practice or something? And the boys did a bit of a sterling effort to get it fixed. They couldn't get it fixed in time for Group 1 leaving, so he wasn't allowed to take part in qualifying. But they pushed him back and sent him, and Sam Ritchie stood in the middle of the pit lane, in the fast lane, in front of Rob Huff, telling him to go back, and stood there.
Well, it's even clumsier. It's even clumsier because we probably would have had him out for Group 1 had we known that's when he had to go.
Yeah.
It's not like you didn't have the time.
Yeah. It's just we didn't know we didn't have the time.
We saw it on the telly, looked out, and we were stunned and a bit amused by the fact that why in the world was he standing there?
Yeah, fair enough.
So there we are.
Are we in agreement anyway that it's Lance Stroll?
Yes.
I think Lance Stroll, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well done, Lance.
And for most memeable award, our ceremonial sound will be. There we are.
Well done, Lance Stroll. Right then, next award is the best livery of 2024. So, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to start this one off because
go ahead.
It's for me, it's quite an obvious one, and it always has been, and it always will be. Well done to Rexy at AO Racing.
Of course, Rexy was going to be on this list. Of course, with his brand new 3 gold teeth.
Yeah.
For his Rex wins.
Yeah.
Good on him, Rexy. I'll go next. I have got a secret spot in my heart for that car.
Sorry, Broom, just say your part again.
The blue caddy.
Blue caddy?
I don't know that one. Oh, the
blue Cadillac.
Really? I was going to put that as one of the worst ones because all the cars were the same, just a different colour.
Well, I just think the yellow and the red one look a bit but certainly the blue one I think stands out and looks really good. It's the way that it was launched. It's the way it was just
Did we just bland
first? Well, I don't know. It's because I suppose it's because it's factory for me. I think because it's a factory effort. I think.
No, I'm not with you on that one, Bryce.
But I couldn't really think of anything that's like. Some of the liveries were good, but I just couldn't think of anything that like gets me going like the caddy.
Yeah.
Ooh, steady on.
Hang on,
Go on, Bryce. Best livery.
Nice.
For me, it's no doubt it brings back nostalgia for me. The McLaren chrome livery.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I just wish that it was more chrome.
Yeah,
much more red.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
can't
wish the
do
Papaya had been much more red.
The red, the colour is because of the main McLaren nowadays is papaya. They're just known for it.
I feel like if they'd gone back to a bit more of the actual colour layout of the chrome livery.
Yeah, I think for me, if it was more chrome overall, but then more chrome overall, but then less of the usual livery that's on like the nose and the rear and things like that.
Yeah, but I'll raise you to that extra weight.
Yeah, but
And you know what the F1 teams are like nowadays with adding extra weight
yeah,
to the car.
I get that. I get that.
You get some carbon. Everyone gets carbon.
Exactly.
Right then. So who's taking the award then?
Uh, I can go with the chrome McLaren. It did look pretty good.
It did for me. I just wish there was more chrome.
Mm,
Fine then. Chrome McLaren takes it.
chrome McLaren takes it.
It's my
Who's
turn.
next? Yes, it is.
So, worst delivery of all time.
Of all time.
No, not of all time. Of this year. Of this year. Getting a bit ahead of myself there. I have to pick, and I don't think it's going to be a popular opinion. I'm going to pick the Jaguar from Formula E.
Okay.
Oh, the black and white one.
The black and white one. I really don't like it. I prefer the old livery with the blue, the teal type blue, the streak and the what's it? I really like that old design, but this one just no, I don't like it. I don't like.
Now, the one I've gone for, I did mention this to Bryce before, saying that the one I've chose is a livery that he told me himself he didn't like. So I know two of us have this vote. And this is the Le Mans edition of the Peugeot 9X8. Now, if you remember, the 9X8 normal WEC car is the grey, silver, and the yellow, or the yellow-green lime colour.
Grey, silver, and like lime green.
Yeah, that colour. The Le Mans Special looked like a migraine. It was white and then multicoloured lines everywhere, and
yeah, I think it was a bit Pescarolo-y, wasn't it?
yeah, it just looked like you needed to take some tablets.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it just didn't seem. It was almost like you've give a crayon to a 5-year-old and said, "Go and draw a car," and they've just come up with that. So yeah, that takes my vote.
Now, you've said that, and I've suddenly remembered one, but I'm gonna say my first one, and then I might, depending.
Throw them both in. Throw them both in.
So I've gone for, in quotation marks, the blue Ferrari. Now, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I absolutely hated that because they teased that it was going to be blue, and then it was still red with blue wheels.
I can't believe people
Ferrari
thought that was going to be blue.
No, but Ferrari have raced in blue colours. They have raced
in
blue cars. So, the most expensive car in the world is a
Ferrari. No, I have to admit, I'm with Broom on this. They did say we're going to make a blue livery, and we was all really hyped. And then it was just like, what?
It was red with blue wheels, and it was the wrong blue, and they wore blue suit. If they wore blue suits with a blue car, it would look fine, but they were wearing blue suits with a red car. It didn't make any sense to me, and I just was a bit like, oh god. And especially when you look at the Daytona, the Ferrari Daytona from the 60s and 70s, when it raced at Le Mans and in America at Daytona, that's why it's called the Ferrari Daytona, in its racing livery, it looks gorgeous. I'm like,
it was a flop, that livery.
Smack the navy blue, the factory navy blue colour on the Formula One car, and it looked great.
Yeah.
But besides that one, I know that it's still a Ferrari. It still looks good red. This, that, and the other. I was going to say the BMW art car, the one that was at Le Mans.
Yeah.
It just. I'll be honest with you. I think I know what they were going for, but it just doesn't look like it's graffiti on it. It's just it didn't. There was nothing artsy about it. It just looked like someone just under a graffiti on the car while it was sat still.
It's the same vibe as the Peugeot, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think I'll stick with my guns and say the Ferrari. I just think it was such a letdown.
Yeah.
Is that
what do you think, Bryce?
You don't know which one to say, Brycey?
Sure. I probably as much as I didn't expect Ferrari to do anything else with the car because they've done red for years and years now.
Hang on, has Brycey said his yet?
Did I say mine?
What was
I can't remember what you said.
No, not Jaguar Formula E.
Oh yeah, you did, Yeah, you did. My apologies. No, I think I have to admit. I think I'm swaying.
Too late to be doing this.
Yeah, I'm swaying more to the Ferrari. I will be honest. I just think it was a big flop.
Yeah, I'm probably, to be fair, I'm swaying more to the Ferrari because as much as I didn't expect anything else, it was dull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit dull. So there you go, then, ladies and gentlemen. The worst livery of 2024 was the blue Ferrari.
Hey, at least Ferrari won something this year.
At least I did. And then the final best award for 2024, the best overtake. Now, I think I'm going to win this. I think I've got this in the bag.
I don't think I'm going to win, so I'm going to go first. Now, I've had a little bit of a cop out here, and I've gone for the FIA Formula 3 as a whole. I just think their racing's just been superb this year. It's just been.
You've gone for a whole championship.
I've gone for the whole championship.
I don't know if that's.
I don't know whether it's allowed, but they've just had so many good bits of racing this year, and I just think I mean, you go and watch F1, you're lucky to get one good overtake a race, whereas these guys are going. In fact, I'll put the clip on, going 4 wide into a corner. I just think it's much better racing.
As long as they leave space.
Right, so I think, Brew, if you think you're going to win, I'll go next because I don't think I'm going to win.
Go on.
I can't actually remember what's happened this year. I can barely remember what I had for breakfast, never mind anything else.
Eggs.
So,
a dozen eggs.
Yeah, that was it, actually. So I've picked the final race in Formula 1, and I have seen this on the internet, and I just think it was a great move. Hamilton on Russell on the final lap. Around the outside.
Good move. Yeah, good move.
It was a good move.
Clean route. There's a great video from a spectator online somewhere, and it's just clean racing from both of them. No one forces anyone wide. The move is absolutely amazing, and it's clean throughout. So
good proper racing. I have personally gone for the double BMW split in IMSA at Indianapolis. I'm quite sure it was.
I don't remember that one.
It did happen. I'm sure it happened. It did happen. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I'm pretty sure it was this year, as well. It wasn't last year.
Yeah.
It was where BMW took their win this year in IMSA, wherever that was, and their cars were up to 11. They looked like they were driving in a game.
Yeah, I'll find a clip for that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a clip somewhere. If you can't find it, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sure it happened this year. But the clip in question, I don't know if Mike would have found it, so I'll describe it. But it is an onboard camera of a GT. I think it might have been another hypercar actually, and you see both BMWs, one behind the other, come past at rocket speed, and then suddenly one of them splits. And I mean splits and just goes to the other side of the track to get round a slower moving GT3 car. And they are going so fast.
Yeah.
And it was incredible to see it. And yeah, I was mesmerised by it, how fast they were going. So yeah, I think that's my submission for best overtake of the year.
I
think it was 3 or 4 cars in one. But it was 2 cars doing it at the same time at light speed.
Judging off what you're saying, I think that's a clear one for me.
I'll try and find the clip and try and share it with you boys first. But brilliant bit of racing.
Yeah, I think that does it then. So
if it exists, if it doesn't exist, we will default, I think, to Adam's answer for.
Yeah, I think
but I'm pretty
sure that's definitely a close second.
So, the award for best overtake goes to either the BMW overtake from Broome or Hamilton on Russell in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. There we are. So, yes. Well done, lads. Standing ovation for best overtake. There we are.
Love it. Well, that is all. I think we've done 10 awards. So, that is all 10 awards done. But yeah, that's the video done. So, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and drop a subscribe while you're at it. It's one little move that helps us tremendously on the channel, and it keeps you up to date with obviously all of our latest releases as well. So Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and as well, if you feel like any of this is, I can't even speak now, the decisions were wrong in the video, drop a comment on what you would have changed.
Yeah, if there's something that you guys think that could have been different, or you think was a better moment than what we've said about, just drop us a comment below.
Yeah,
it helps out, and we'd love to see what you guys think.
So aside from that, myself, Broom, and Bryce are signing out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you very much, everybody.